director Lindsay McDonald disclosed their friendship when her company. So the Integrity Commission says neither Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tuftton nor Market Me Consulting Limited co-manager director Lindsay McDonald disclosed their friendship when her company secured nearly $80 million in government contracts from his ministry. The finding was part of a report tabled in Parliament on Tuesday following a 3-year probe into allegations of procurement irregularities, conflicts of interest surrounding the award of contracts between 2016 and 2021. The investigation found that some 15 contracts valued at $78.5 million were awarded to Market Me during the period, with 14 of them issued by the ministry and one by the National Family Planning Board. The Director of Investigation, Kevin Stevenson, said he saw no evidence to indicate that Tuftton was directly involved in the award of $15.8 million contract to Market Me, the issue which triggered the probe. The contract was used to implement the Jamaica Moves physical fitness campaign to raise awareness about communicable diseases and encourage Jamaicans to adopt healthier lifestyles. However, Stevenson criticized Tuftton for not disclosing his relationship with McDonough, especially after ministry officials confirmed that Tuftton introduced Market Me. Despite identifying the breaches and the governance failures, the report said evidentiary gaps prevented referral of the matter to the Director of Corruption Prosecution. The Integrity Commission also raised questions about whether the award of 6 Jamaica Moves-related contracts on the same day, i.e. May 1, 2019, was an attempt to splinter them to avoid competition. The inference there is, I believe, if the amount is above 1.5 million, it triggers certain procurement matters. The Integrity Commission raised concerns about irregularities and a perceived conflict of interest in the awarding of the director, Kevin Stevenson, also made mention in an 88-page report. You know, maybe if we take less time with the striking report and more of the investigating, we could have come up with something more concrete. But anyway, so the Director of Investigations, Kevin Stevenson, who is in about his 3rd stint with the Integrity Commission, found evidentiary gaps in the probe. Those gaps, he says, which are of a technical nature, prevented him from recommending to the Director of Corruption Prosecution that criminal charges be pursued.
Okay.
You notice with Mr. Stevenson, there's always an excuse as to why it not pass on.
Precisely.
1.5 billion are thereabouts to pay the Integrity Commission annually. There were 3 other reports tabled in the House to do with councillors not reporting their data on time. Which I soon come back to Mr. Tuftton and Miss McDonough. So you mean to tell me that after 2018, what are we now? 2025. So 7 years of the commission. The 2 things you really come up with are people not declaring their assets on time. The one with the Prime Minister's non-certified declaration. The one where the woman used the car and buy the car and not them charge her 900 grand and Monsieur in the Parliament to beat up the desk. Tuftton says he's happy that this has virtually saying it exonerates him.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Well, no, it doesn't.
No.
You know, there are people in this country who love make reference to Singapore. Oh, why can't we be like Singapore? Singapore reached it and they've done all these ones. This in Singapore, I'm under a Ghana prison.
Yeah, man. Or something else.
Or worse.
Yeah, man. Or something else. That's what Xi Jinping do, the agriculture minister with the man.
You're going to line him up?
I mean. Yeah, man.
$80 million.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah,
man.
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do we meditate day and night. For we shall be like trees planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth our fruit in our season. Our leaves shall not wither, and whatsoever we do shall prosper. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. This evening, call everybody, because there are some things that our Jamaican people don't understand. We lack understanding. And as a growing democracy, we need to understand that the people also have a responsibility to hold our leaders accountable. And I'm going to play more of this discussion between Simon Crosskill and Ralston Hyman this morning. This discussion happened this morning. And I want to play some more right because it is riveting. And somebody need to call Dr. Chris Tuftton to come to class this evening, because we'll be dealing with Dr. Chris Tuftton. We'll also be dealing with the green paper that was laid in the parliament yesterday on the culture and the creative industry. We're going to be dealing with that as well. So, in the meantime, let's go back to this discussion. Simon Crosskill and Ralston Hyman, they were on Power 106 this morning. Program they call The Bottom Line. Check it out.
Yeah, that clear.
No comment from the pundits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody.
No comment.
Mm-hmm.
Uptown quiet.
Yeah, man.
No question marks about it.
So you can imagine man say, yo, I know the one Simon and the man are friend. Him not tell me say man the man are friend.
I declared my friendship with Dr. Clark. I declare it with Mark Goldie.
Yeah.
I declared all of my friends.
It's the hypocrisy.
Except guess what?
Yeah.
None of them now get $1 from me and vice versa.
You see the hypocrisy. More vindicated. Hypocrisy, man. Hypocrisy and shamelessness. Yeah.
2016 to 2020.
8 contracts in one day. So it's a deliberate thing.
One set though. Yeah. And none of this could have come out before September 3.
You see it?
But it would mean nothing. Good. It would mean nothing if it did come out before September 3. They would have win the election same way.
Hold on, man. There's more in them. There's a lot more. And I don't let people have short memories. But my memory good. Ministry of Health is facing more heat as its level of tardiness has increased this year owing to its failure to present appropriation accounts for 11 years.
Yeah, man.
Auditor General's Department for scrutiny over the 11-year period 2013-14 to 23-24. Parliament approved $829.6 billion of taxpayer money. That's 10.8% of our national budget for the management and the administration of the health sector by the ministry.
Yeah.
You remember that? You remember when Dunstan Bryant,
the permanent secretary, take the talk from the auditor and the minister saying back him? We don't forget that.
Well, Mr. Bryant, come out and say.
We don't forget that.
We never splinter nothing. I just say it work.
Oh,
I wouldn't want them people
I would just say it work. Okay. Yeah. I just say it work. Okay.
As I say, my memory good. So here's what I want to remind John Public of while you consider these things, especially uptown.
Yeah, man.
When
I
you
just,
know,
boy, hear the man him say, I just said it work.
when,
Yeah.
when you absolve on a brethren them. I remember none of your business, said the headline.
Yeah.
Tuftton rages at queries about cheating on wife as market meat contracts entanglement swirls. You know when that was? 2020.
Yeah.
Um,
Zarification.
An agitated Dr. Christopher Tuftton, Jamaica's Minister of Health and Wellness, went on the offensive on Thursday evening when he bluntly told a reporter who asked if he cheated on his wife, that was none of your business. I would prefer you would stick to questions around the operations of the ministry. And just as I leave you to your private life, I would like you to allow me mine. Well, I have a message for Dr. Tuftton and every other minister. You're not in a private life.
No, once you come in a public
You put
life.
yourself before the voting public. The voting public must know everything about you in order to make a proper deliberation. You're not in a private life.
And the question was in relation to the allocation of public funds.
Indeed.
It was the same thing.
Indeed,
Yeah.
it was all wrapped up in the same thing. Thank you very much, a P. Tuftton hit back as it emerged that
Simon.
Market Me Consulting
Simon.
Limited, a public relations.
Hold on, Simon. Because lest people forget. Hold on, just hold on. Lest people forget. Let's play Dr. Tuftton dealing with Zara Burton. Listen to this.
A while ago, Minister Tuftton, that you really, appreciate the work that Market Me does and did. I think the question that Edmund wanted to ask was maybe not answered thoroughly. So I would just want to ask it more directly. Did you cheat on your wife with any of the principals?
No, Minister.
Hold on. No, let me answer.
Minister.
Let me respond. First of all, that's none of your business. And I would prefer you stick to questions around the operations of the ministry. And just as I leave you to your private life, I'd like you to allow me mine. Thank you very much.
So that's exactly what Simon Croskill mentioned a while ago. Dr. Christopher Tuftton.
Relations Agency had benefited from coronavirus-related contracts on an unsolicited proposal. So, I don't...
We're listening to...
relationship with Market Me. I think they're an amazing company, but they never make no recommendation, They delivered effectively during my tenure as minister. I have no difficulty in saying they work hard and I enjoyed working with them. However, Zara Burton of 18 Degrees North did a quick follow-up that left the minister fuming. I remember thinking the question at the time was inappropriate.
No, but it connected. No. It is connected.
Hold on again, Simon, because...
the report goes on, the proverbial pin could have been hurt.
Hold on. Because when Zara Burton asked the question, I think Zara made a mistake. Because the question should be to Dr. Tuftton, are you in a relationship with any of the management of Market Me? And then that would now be more appropriate. And we said it back then, because you see, all of this, we weighed in when this happening. We were, I think, on maybe doing our own YouTube channel. I don't remember if we were at Styles. But we want to look at this issue this evening in a big way.
Heard if dropped. As Brian appeared befuddled, saying, no minister, apparently trying to advise Tuftton not to respond. That was back in 2020.
Yeah, man.
So let's go back to that clip from Zara Burton.
A while ago, Minister Tuftton, that you really, appreciate the work that Market Me does and did. I think the question that Edmund wanted to ask was maybe not answered thoroughly. So I would just want to ask it more directly. Did you cheat on your wife with any of the prince?
No, Minister.
Hold on. No, let me answer.
Minister.
Let me respond. First of all, that's none of your business. And I would prefer you stick to questions around the operations of the ministry. And just as I leave you to your private life, I'd like you to allow me mine. Thank you very much.
There's
In the
another.
meantime, vile, filthy, and scandalous. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tuftton is dismissing innuendos circulating on social media as mere attempts to tarnish his good name. Dr. Tuftton says his attorneys are exploring all legal options to prosecute those behind the posts, who he described as cyber criminals. Giovanni Dennis has the details.
The name Tuftton has been trending all week on Twitter, but it's not only been about issues under his ministerial portfolio in health. The health minister's name has been entangled in a series of viral social media posts, much of which are deeply personal. Today, he responded with a 157-word statement. He described as vile, filthy, and scandalous allegations and innuendos on social media aimed at besmirching and tainting what he described as his good name and reputation. He further charged these disgusting, vicious, and false attributions made under the cover of social media have caused great pain and suffering and are clearly aimed at damaging my career as well as causing emotional distress. He revealed that the matter has been reported to the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Division (CTOC) of the police. He also disclosed that he has instructed his attorneys to use all available legal steps to ensure the prosecution of who he described as cyber criminals, and to seek recourse in the civil courts when their identities are ascertained. Dr. Tuftton said part of the motivation for these attacks have to do with his public office, but he maintained that he will not be deterred in doing his job. Giovanni Dennis, TVJ News.
So it was a whole heap of rangambu. But there's more from Simon and Ralston Hyman.
That ministry has been very messy for a long time. Yep.
Yeah, there's another point. But I have to take a break and come back.
We're not
Standing, and I stand to be corrected, that when the IC does an investigation, it alerts the individual to the fact that they are being investigated.
Okay.
And this issue never came up. Never came up in the election. Never came up in any discussion.
Yeah.
So, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And guess what? We are going to accept it.
Of course. No, you're nobody.
I don't hear any other pundits who pontificate and other crap.
No.
And there's one woman in particular who has a, well, my name knows she still have the website. But me not see nothing from her. This don't offend nobody.
Yep.
And we just go on.
Just move on. Move on.
Because guess what? Integrity Commission can't prove nothing. All they can do is insinuate and suggest and raise red flag and pass the buck and whatnot.
And that's the end of the story. And conflicts of interest are not crimes.
No, well, actually, I had to look up conflict of
In
interest.
Jamaica, they're not crimes. Maybe if you're dealing with Xi Jinping or Kim Jong-un, then...
Listen to this. Listen to this.
Most businesses, a conflict of interest isn't universally illegal in Jamaica,
Right.
in the sense of a standalone criminal offense. It's prohibited by law and policy in specific contexts, particularly for public officers and company directors, where it violates fiduciary duties, can lead to mandatory exclusion in procurement, or is prohibited or is a prohibited act that may result in criminal prosecution if it involves malicious destruction of information. Many government bodies and public entities have codes of ethics and conduct that require disclosure and management of conflicts with violations subject to disciplinary action.
Theoretical.
So, according to the Integrity Commission, one of the flags and issues it had is that neither the significant partner in Market Me or the minister declared their friendship.
Which is a conflict of interest.
But according to that, there's a code of ethics and conduct that requires disclosure and management of conflicts with violations subject to disciplinary action and potential criminal charges depending on the circumstance.
On paper, this is the money where the auditor general with you.
You know, you may ask you now, what would be the ramifications in terms of disciplinary action? No disciplinary action either.
Nothing. No, man. Unless you were in Singapore or China or South Korea or North Korea. No, man. No, sir. Those things are just on paper.
Companies Amendment Act 2017 imposes a duty on directors to avoid conflict of interest with the company's interests. Public sector codes of ethics mandate public officers to avoid situations where their interests could conflict with duties to the government.
But you only have the consequences in the private sector, not in the public sector, especially in government. Yeah. So that's the theory.
So that's it.
Yeah, that's the theory, but that's not the practice.
So me can just get up tomorrow.
Yep.
And you put me in charge of power. And I have a girlfriend. I'm going to just say, you know what? I give you all of the marketing.
And I said, maybe you couldn't get away with it at power because it's a private entity. But if you're a minister in government, you can get it.
So the private sector is more accountable.
Of course, then they need to see that.
public.
Of course, come on, man. Come on, man.
Mandatory disclosure. Yeah. Public officers and corporate officials must disclose any potential.
I'm sure an instance for the private sector.
Did Mr. Tuftton advise his prime minister, his colleagues, anybody of a possible conflict of interest?
Note that.
There's no evidence of it in the
note that.
Because they failed to declare their friendship.
Precisely.
And I noticed in newspapers put friendship in
quotes.
In quotes.
Yeah. Friendship in quotes.
Deep friendship. You man say enjoy working with the people about them do good work and all of that. Come on, man. Good. Remember, the stock exchange. If your quarterly or your annual report not come in at a certain time, you get suspended.
You get suspended.
Yeah, we have a situation where reports now come in for years and there's no suspension. Come on, man. Yep. And you have to notify them if you think are late too. You have to send a notice to the stock exchange say we were promising you the report at X time, but due to circumstances it can't come in until Y time. Different in politics, you just do anything when you want to do.
See, it's no big deal then.
Yeah, no, that tell you no big deal. The country accept it.
Personally, I'm not business about in private relationships. I'm not really business.
No, but what about allocation of public funds?
Correct.
Yeah.
You are in charge of
funds.
taxpayers'
money. Yeah. Yep.
It is not a slush fund for you to do what you want to
do with it.
Here's another thing that bothers me. The same people who ravaged Donald Trump for his conflicts of interest, whether it have to do with him hotel that's close to the White House where he put up guests, whether it have to do with him son get this from Saudi Arabia, whether he may get a plane from Qatar, which he's getting, by the way, you notice, him sign an executive order that if anybody mess with Qatar, he must send in troops. The same people who are adamant that the man there is rotten to the core, then pay a blind bit of notice to things like this.
But who tell you that they have a problem with Trump?
No, man, based on conversations I have.
So I hear people there. No, but a different thing, you know.
But
Yeah,
don't
but
have a problem with this.
no, because no matter who them like or not, what is right. You don't understand how the thing I run now, man.
Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do we meditate day and night. For we shall be like trees planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth our fruit in our season. Our leaves shall not wither, but whatsoever we do shall prosper. What a looting and shooting. Yes, raping the country's asset. We'll listen to the discussion. And I don't know how many of you heard Dr. Tuftton saying that he has been exonerated. Listen to him.
And Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tuftton says he's relieved by what he has characterized as his vindication by the Integrity Commission report.
I have maintained that we did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong, and the ministry didn't do anything wrong, and the process was followed. I'm happy now that the report has confirmed that by indicating very explicitly that there is no evidence that my own involvement was represented undue influence or I directed anyone. And certainly, while it was critical of aspects of the administration of the process directed at the ministry, there is nothing in the report to suggest anything untoward. So from that standpoint, I think it represents vindication.
Health and Wellness Minister
Vindication, Dr. Tuftton
Doc.
says. But let me see. Let me see this.
In time, vile, filthy, and
No, that's not the one. I think I have another clip of Dr. Tuftton that I want to play about the report from the Integrity Commission. The report from the Integrity Commission. This is it. You see, the narrative that they push on us from time to time, telling us to believe what they want us to believe. Not what is facts, but what they want us to believe. And I have to play this clip here to contextualize the whole thing. I have to play it. Because you see, there's a discussion out there that is saying that the Integrity Commission don't do them work. And I believe that the Integrity Commission must not lie, must not make up any story, must not add or subtract, but they must report on exactly what they found. And let me play this clip for you.
We begin with news of a marketing and communications firm Market Me Consulting Limited says the Integrity Commission's report on contracts it received from the Ministry of Health and Wellness affirms its integrity and professionalism. In a statement yesterday, the company said for more than 12 years it has served clients across Jamaica's public and private sectors, always guided by purpose, professionalism, and impact. It says with issues surrounding its integrity and professionalism addressed, it will now return to doing great work for the clients and communities. According to the Commission's Director of Investigation, 15 contracts were awarded to Market Me during the review period, 14 by the Health Ministry and 1 by the National Family Planning Board, using the direct contracting procurement method. The total value of these contracts was $78.6 million, with the Health Ministry accounting for $73.7 million. The report concludes that the use of direct contracting breached the Ministry of Finance's guidelines, which limit this method to contracts valued below $1.5 million. While the investigation found no direct evidence that ministry accounting for $73.7 million.
Listen this again.
The report concludes that the use of direct contracting breached the Ministry of Finance's guidelines, which limit this method.
So, this is the report saying the use of direct contracting breached the Ministry of Finance guideline. But Tuftton wants you to believe that the report exonerates him. No, the report does not point to any criminal offense, even though it said that there are some technical gaps that stop them from referring Dr. Tuftton for criminal charges. However, they have referred him to the Speaker of the House and the Ethics Committee. In any well-serving democracy, Dr. Chris Tuftton would have handed in his resignation to the Prime Minister. Or the Prime Minister should have asked Dr. Tuftton to resign.
Method to contracts. The report concludes that the use of direct contracting breached the Ministry of Finance's guidelines, which limit this method to contracts valued below $1.5 million. While the investigation found no direct evidence that Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tuftton participated in the award of contracts, it concluded that his introduction of Market Me and friendship with its co-managing director, Lindsay McDonough, created a perceived conflict of interest. The report concludes that the use of direct contracting breached the Ministry of Finance's guidelines, which limit this method to contracts valued below $1.5 million. While the investigation found no direct evidence that Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tuftton participated in the award of contracts, it concluded that his introduction of Market Me and friendship with its co-managing director, Lindsay McDonough, created a perceived conflict of interest. And Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tuftton.
All right. There you have it. What say you? What say you? 876-7072. Is this okay with you? No evil to Portland. Is this okay with you? Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Bell.
Blessings and welcome.
All right. Pertaining to Tuftton, it doesn't matter. He isn't being charged for anything, and nothing is going to come out of it.
No, but what do you think? What do you think? Is it okay with you? Does this sit well with you as a Jamaican citizen?
A lot of things doesn't sit well with me, Mr. Bell, but nothing is changing.
No, man.
Even with the new gun law, what can we, the people, do to change it? And what is the PMP doing about it?
I want to answer that question. These are some of the issues why people must go out and vote. And I've been saying it from the other day. I hear a man on a talk show say it, that a democracy must have an informed society. You must understand the issues. You must know the issues. Yeah? This is wrongdoing, not at a criminal level, but the ethical side of this is wrong. That's what the Integrity Commission is saying, you know. We don't find no criminal charges here, but they are ethical charges. They are breaches of government policy. And I've been saying it to all of you here that the lawmakers cannot be the lawbreakers. There must be a moral standard that
Yes, and
our
how are we?
legislatures operate by.
Yes, and how are we going to hold them accountable? Because just to even to protest, we have to get a permit.
Let me tell you how you're going to hold them accountable. On the 3rd of September, we're just gone, there was an annual general meeting of the company called Jamaica. 60% of its directors did not turn up for the meeting, did not vote. Those who voted for the GLP vote to say that, yes, we don't have a problem with this. So when we say no evil to Portland, say no have a problem, we expect that because you voted for it. These are the things you voted for, that government minister must introduce them friends to the ministry and say, see, market me here, they are a marketing contractors, and leave them with the permanent secretary. Yeah? Them all end up at the meeting where I discuss the contract with them forget. You can't hold Tuftton accountable because him never signed no paper say market me must get the contract, but him carry them go introduce to the ministry. You don't need more than that. He's the minister. And that's why I've been telling you all that you cannot have a prime minister hustling and juggling while he's prime minister, because them now have signed the document, so you can't trace it back to them.
Yes, Mr. Bell, but how we have to go and wait 5 years?
But it's 3 months.
Hope that
The government, incoming government, it's not even 6 weeks ago you get a chance. Did you vote?
Yes, I did.
Thank you. Now ask you who you vote for. Because if you vote, I have respect for you. But majority of those who voted and said to Andrew Holness and Chris Tuftton, with all that we know, all that has been in the news, those who voted for the GLP said, driver, don't stop at all. Care Cornwall Regional got 50 billion. That's what they did.
Yes, Mr. Bell, but we can't be, the country can't continue to run like this, where we have to wait until the next general election for things to be changed.
But Mark Golden was offering a bill of recall, that you can recall politicians. He was offering a bill of impeachment, that you can impeach politicians. Outside of those getting into law, there is no other recourse until 5 years' time.
Yeah, but would that have been passed in the House? Because how many of them are going to put the knife at the throat to go to prison?
But what may I say to you, my brother? You have a party in power for 9 years who promise you term limit in the first 100 days, who promise impeachment in the first 100 days, and after 9 years you don't get it, but people still go out there and vote for them same way.
Yeah, but Mr. Bell, the opposition is the same. They made promises to her and they didn't deliver on those promises.
Rubbish.
Rubbish.
Yes. The opposition is not the same as the government.
Mr.
They
Bell,
are not the same.
Mr. Bell, with all due respect, both parties are involved in corruption.
I will
right?
not.
We can't see it.
I won't call that. You realize me never call that one the rubbish? Because none of the two parties are perfect. All of them have been involved in some kind of wrongs or the other. But to say they are the same, that is rubbish. They are not the same.
I'm not saying that they are the same, Mr. Bell.
You said that. You said that.
Right.
You said they are the same. And I said rubbish. They are not. One is more corrupt than one. One is more competent than one. Talk to me.
Yes, Mr. Bell. And that is the issue right there. And that is why majority of the nation did not come out and vote.
Well, when you don't vote, my brother, you accept the decision that the majority of who vote has made.
Yeah, but at the same time, as I said, Mr. Bell, we would have to hope that the incoming opposition would do the right thing. We don't know if they are going to do it because, as I said, they made promises and they didn't deliver.
What are the promises that the opposition made in the last 10 years that they did not deliver on?
Right. Well,
and listen to my question. What are the promises that the opposition made in the last 10 years that they have not delivered on?
I would have to go and do some research and come back on it because I can't think of anything right now off my head.
But you're saying it.
Right.
But my brother, we have to be rational. We have to think of ourselves, because if some of us who voted for the GLP didn't even think about ourselves, we wouldn't vote for them. Even if we did get selfish, we wouldn't did vote for them. But thanks for the call.
Okay, Mr. Will.
Yeah, man. I would have liked for once no evil to Portland pick up him phone and call me, because him say this issue with Tuftton sits well with him. I am telling you, it doesn't sit well with me. Because if that is how we're going to run the country, because it's simple, you know. It's simple. You carry a friend, go introduce to the technocrats at the ministry, and you say to them, this is my friend, she have a marketing company. And then all of a sudden she turn up with a proposal that wasn't solicited by the government. And then she gets 6 contracts in one day. And the man say, that sit well with him. Well, you know, them said your polar is just as bad as the thief. But you have some people, once it's their side doing the wrong, it no wrong. And I am saying that in England, Dr. Tuftton would have to resign. In Singapore or in China, it wouldn't be normal.
Hello?
Yes, welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Yeah, man. Good afternoon, Mr. Bell.
Good afternoon.
Best up to you and your family.
Yeah, man.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
You have some people at Jamaica, you see, then talk like I don't know where they come from. The last, you ask the man a question, and he must say no kind of way. The last 10 years of war in the country.
They're not tricking, get trick and not realize.
You have big lie, you know. Your bossy case, you know.
Wait, so my bossy case.
What do you mean it's your bossy case?
That's him like a whole rag.
What do you mean? You have stupidness. All you just say. Me don't know anything young. You must say young and not understand.
Let me tell you something.
Say 2 parties named. Yes.
Anytime you hear anybody say the 2 party are the same thing.
Yes.
They are a member. They are a
Yes.
member of the Jamaica Labour Party.
Thank you.
Take that from me. Because no comrade, no admit that GLP and PNP are the same.
Can never. No, will never.
We never claim perfection for the PNP. We are not perfect.
Never.
And we have been involved in wrongdoing and involved in perception of corruption, and we have been involved. Yes. But my grandfather did tell me, say PNP thief with FARC and GLP thief with Bakwo. 2 different things.
My grandfather used to say PNP is a shovel, then a shovel in their mood, shovel. Them not left nothing on the table.
Who name with the shovel?
GLP.
Well,
not left nothing on the table.
Are you comfortable with that issue with Tuftton?
Can never and will never. Will never and can never, because what? What really happening? It is so blatant. And then it's so bright and enough for come on, like take everybody to Kuno.
Yeah, the man say he has been exonerated.
right? The country need a shake up. There is no governance in the country for the last 10 years. No room to make. The big nose man promise say, I'm gonna put impeachment, but I'm gonna defer on up to 100 days and
Hold the
nothing
line
can
for me.
happen.
And then this man I gonna tell me, say, the two party are the same.
Can
No
never,
go so.
will never. And the next thing, Isabel, let me look one.
Yeah.
The spate of murder was happening in the country and shooting. Make I tell you something, Jamaica, whether you believe it or not. This is not only ordinary. This is spiritual wickedness in high places. This
You
is
see how much
blood
children,
sacrifice.
you see how much our children are lose them life?
Blood sacrifice.
Little more,
I
Carla.
want to know
Yeah.
which a religion bowed to all.
Carla, I'm going to ask
Yeah.
you to call me back in a little while. I have an interview with Dr. Deborah Eichlin. Here?
All right.
Yeah, man. We're going to talk to Dr. Deborah Eichlin because a green paper was laid in the parliament yesterday on the culture and the creative industry. And that green paper, I have been scanning through it from morning, and I am sure Debbie got through it more than me. Dr. Eichlin, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Dr. Eichlin? I don't know why you're not hearing Deborah. Hold on for me.
I'm very much here. Are you hearing me?
No, I am hearing you. I wonder where. I was wondering where you're gone.
No, man, I'm right here, not going anywhere.
Good evening and welcome.
Thank you.
You have been involved in the culture and the creative industry for many years. You have been involved in putting policy papers together. Yesterday in the parliament, the Honorable Babsy Grange tabled a green paper for discussion.
Right.
How much of it have you gone through already, Debbie?
I have scanned through it. I haven't really gone through it line by line. I intend to. But I have done some comparisons with some of the other policy documents from the Caribbean. And I have I've looked at some of the key elements of the policy. And so I've done some cursory work. There's a lot more work to be done to do the full analysis of the policy, but I've started.
You know where my views on the culture and the creative industries, Dr. Eichlin.
Absolutely.
We looked at the budget, $14 billion over 10 years. What push can that give to the culture and the creative industry for the culture and the creative industry to assist with economic growth in the country?
Okay, well, if we're starting with the budget, the first thing I would do is I would kind of do some comparisons. $14 billion over 10 years for a development plan of a sector that has a number of institutions on the cultural side that have been underfunded for many, many years, decades even. And I would go as far as to say that even before the 10 years of this government, there had been some underfunding, even as we went through the periods of austerity. So basically what we're doing is we are reviving those elements of the cultural side that have long-standing institutions, and we are building out an infrastructure for the creative economy, which is a brand new piece. So in terms of the governance of it, people have been involved in creative industries for years. They've been doing their own thing, and they have thrived. Many have thrived, irrespective of government involvement. So in keeping with the budget, I want us to think of Cornwall Regional Hospital. What's the numbers on that again, Colin?
Well, they have gone over $15 billion, and the projected cost is $23 billion by Dr. Christopher Tuftton's projections.
Okay, that's a single hospital. How long have they been at it, Colin? And how long do they project it's going to take?
I said they've been at it for about 9 years.
9 years.
And they can't give us a direct date of completion.
Right, that's a single building. We're talking about building out an entire infrastructure to include things like the entertainment zones, to include things that they call the community. I'm not sure what they call it, but we had called it the community districts. To include a number of different programs over 10 years. At $14 billion, I think that is ambitious. But I guess it is better to be conservative than to be outlandish. We tend, as you know, Colin, to try to be as conservative as possible.
But Debbie.
The yield that we can get from this sector, the amount of money that we can get from this sector. How much was it that Vibes Cartel made from his single show, Colin, as the man with the numbers?
Vibes Cartel, they said they made what, about 10 billion Jamaican dollars.
Right.
From the one show.
If you compare that with a $14 billion budget over 10 years, then you can see that there are some that it needs that it looks unrealistic to me.
But Debbie, watch this. If you are gonna build out the infrastructure, they have budgeted what, 5 point something, 5 billion
5.59 billion
over 10 years to build out the infrastructure. One of the things that Jamaica need is that we need sound stage on this island, 1 or 2, if we are going to be serious about the culture and the creative industry. I did some research.
We need a multi-purpose center that can do indoor shows. We need proper entertainment zones. Damien spoke about the community entertainment zones.
But Deborah, hold on a little bit. If we are going to put in, let's say, 2 good sound stage, that the industry needs to push it. 2 good sound stage going running about anywhere between $8 and $10 billion, you know.
We had done the estimates, remember?
Yes.
We had run the numbers.
So what is the thinking? And the other thing I want to put in front of you right now, I have been going through that document from morning, and I have not seen anywhere where they speak of revenue coming from the industry.
Yes, there are revenue projections.
Hold on, Debbie. Hold on. 1 sec. Somebody in the chat room is asking, why is it called a green paper? When you table a green paper in the parliament, it means this is something for discussion. So that's why the term green paper is used. So it's a paper for discussion. It's a proposal, and it is at the discussion stage. So it's not the final stage.
Right. So what it is that they're inviting potential ideas and information so that they can do the policy changes and add to the legislation. And it's published so that people can have a general idea of the thinking of the government and stimulate their involvement in discussions and gather feedback and so on. So that's what a green paper is for. It's like a preliminary phase of the policy process.
But why would you do it without any income projection?
Well, I suppose this is one of the things that now has to be proposed to them, that there needs to be some form of revenue projection so that but you see, the issues of data have been major ones, you know, because I did a kind of projection the other day at all of the estimates of the contribution to GDP that have changed over a period of time, and we've not been able to rationalize that at all. So neither do we have income, or we have clear expenditure, or do we have economic impact.
I want big up Conrad Obi, the fireman. He'll the man. We're going to be talking to him in a little while in depth about this Tuftton thing. But right now we are discussing the green paper on the CCI. She call it the ECCI, Entertainment, Culture and Creative Industry.
Right. Well, and there's some, and you know, interestingly enough, there are some contradictions in even that naming, because
I think so.
As far as I'm concerned, and again, when we did the analysis, we identified entertainment as one subsector of the entire
Creative industry.
economy, right?
Yes.
And it's a large subsector, and it includes things like production, and it includes festivals, and it includes that sort of framing. But I think the emphasis on entertainment is because of the economic issues. It's sexy. Entertainment is sexy and
Yes.
and youthful and revenue laden. So it's like a dog whistle. From my perspective anyway.
What else from your perspective is missing from this green paper?
Well, I don't see a kind of undergirding philosophy of the paper. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. They've spoken about contributions to the constitutional reform process, but for a cultural policy for Jamaica, I'm still looking for the word decolonization. In the paper. I may have still have missed it because I have not looked all the way through. But there needs to be a decolonization framework in a year that the biggest culture clash that we have had since the election has been the opposition leader and the prime minister working through the processes of developing the rules of engagement for constitutional reform. How is it? And all of the issues that came out of even the election campaign that speak to the need for decolonization, the issues that have to do with the crime, children dying, etc., that all of the experts have said are related to decolonization, our hunger, all of those
But
have
they
been
can't
directly
address
related.
they can't address things like hunger, Deborah, because remember now them say poverty is down to 8%, so how can our people be hungry?
But you see, if we can't be honest with ourselves in
That's
our
it.
own
That's it, baby.
cultural policy,
Honesty.
right? If we can't be honest with ourselves in our own cultural policy, an area that is supposed to be our conscience, if every other sector goes off and does what goes off on a frolic on their own, your cultural policy, your cultural ministry should be the one that is calling you back to say, remember who you are.
Yes.
Remember what you are, what you stand for. Remember where you're coming from. And I'm not seeing that thread through the policy at the moment. But again, it's a process of development. So I'm sure this is one of the recommendations that can be made.
She spoke also about developing a new institution in which to train our creatives. My question to that is, what a role will Edna Manley College of the Visual and the Performing Arts play in all of this?
So I inquired about that, and I got an answer to say that the Maritime Institute has a greater technological facility where they can teach more of the technology-based courses. But it occurred to me that you have upwards of 10 institutions across the island that do different things.
Yes.
That are able to deliver different parts of the curriculum. What needs to be put together is the curriculum. Use the resources to create a curriculum that goes from early childhood right through to specialist training in different areas. Look at the institutions you have and then rationalize those courses and that curriculum against the various institutions and invest in their growth. Listen, cultural and creative programs are struggling in universities because whenever a student says, I want to do cultural and creative industries, their parents say, for what? Because they are not clear about the value that they can earn within these sectors. So they tell them that they must go and do medicine and law or become a, whatever
Yes.
it is,
Yes.
a pharmacist or something that is going to gain them some money. So again, public education is a huge part of the process as to the vast array of jobs that are available in cultural and creative industries.
And not just the vast array of jobs, but the vast array of high-paying jobs.
Absolutely. Specialist jobs.
Yes.
And so if you're going to be training, and again, I heard Damien ask the question, what's the role of HART? You have a national training agency, which has already did a study as to what is required to boost and buoy the cultural and creative industries. It was some of the findings that they came up with I didn't quite agree with, but they had started the exploration as to what courses they should be offering. And especially because you want to be doing things like certifying people, sound engineers, and you want to be certifying sound system operators so that, our electricians, specifically for the film industry, or, that kind of technical area, carpenters. You need lots of people who can build things and make things for theater, for different areas. And so I'm not sure that this institute, I haven't seen the framework. I would be interested to see the framework because it's one of the areas that I'm interested in, tertiary education for cultural and creative industries. But we'll see.
Deborah, I have not seen what I call the slingshot in the green paper. And what I mean by the slingshot is what it is that is going to let the culture and the creative industry kickstart, propel to where we know it can take this country. That is missing for me from the green paper as well.
Yeah, I suppose a kind of clear vision as to what we want it to look like at the end of the process. They say that they have a policy vision, which is one paragraph. A Jamaica which sustains a culturally diverse, equitable, and integrated society, an authentic and transformational culture, a preserved heritage, positive values and attitudes, and confident people. But for the cultural economy side of it, in terms of what we want it to look like at the end.
And one of the reasons why I'm looking for that is because the Prime Minister said in his inaugural speech that the culture and the creative industry is going to be one of the pillars of economic growth for this country.
He did so. I laugh when I hear that, though, because in his budget presentation 6 months before, he was saying that he's not putting his money into anything that is not going to yield him results, and he's not confident about the sector. And
he was saying that he's willing to put the money, but he have to know how he more get it back. Hence, when I look through the paper, I was saying that where is the projection of return? And that is one of the reasons, in my view, why Babsy has been unable to convince her cabinet that they need to put more money in the culture and the creative industry because she's not showing them the returns.
A lot of it comes out of the analysis of the data that exists, because data exists. A case can be made with the available data about the economic futures of the cultural and creative industries. It's called a projection. And decisions are made on projections every day in our financial system. Yeah. Once it's credible, once the data is coming, and there is enough data in the system to do that.
But they're not using it, or they don't believe it. But when you look at the paper doing a Debbie, most of the data that they are using are old data. They are using.
They are, and they have actually provided newer data. There's data from JAMPRO in 2022 that speaks to 3 subsectors of the creative industries, contributing over 6% to GDP. And so what about the other 17? So we need to quantify the other 17. Can you imagine if we're going over 9 or 10%? That's more than banking.
And it is possible.
Yeah, it is absolutely possible.
I read a paragraph that spoke to the downturn of local film, and they mention in the paragraph Lime Tree Lane and Royal Palm Estate, but saying
But
that
those programs are 30 years old.
but they are now saying that there is a downturn. So even back then we were doing better than what we are doing now as it relates to television program. Hold on. And they attribute that failure to the influx of cable and other streaming.
That's not the reason why. That's not the reason why. They went through a liberalization process of the culture of the film sector. They sold JBC, and the entire sector went into flux after that. People were unemployed. They didn't know where the sector was going. The whole liberalization thing wasn't working for a lot of people. People had to start their own businesses. People who were cameramen who didn't know about business, and there wasn't any facilitation from those early days. So those are the reasons that people stopped producing and they could only make money now from producing music videos. Yes. So they started to move and work with the entertainment sector more than create television programs or series or dramas or any other things like that. But you have to know the history of the sector to have a clear understanding why there have been problems and in order to address them. So when they promise a film fund in 2024 and the film sector takes it to the bank and makes commitment based on commitment letters that they have gotten, and a year later they can't see a single cent.
Has anybody gotten any of that money yet, Debbie?
I haven't heard of anybody who has, in terms of the local filmmakers. It would be interesting to know exactly whether that budget has been completely spent or how it has been spent, or whether it's still there. And if it's still there, why then hasn't it been disbursed? I know filmmakers who have sat and waited. They've made commitments based on a commitment letter that they have from the government, a large sums of money, and they've gone ahead and they've fronted the money, and they have actors waiting and production crews waiting on a payout that is taking a little longer than anticipated. So it's real. The film sector can only grow based on training. Jamaica can only accommodate 3 maybe major films at a time because of the human resource deficit that we have in specialist areas.
But if we
so
do
we
the
need
training,
the specialists in film.
Yes. Debbie, it's a lot to talk about, a lot to
There's
unpack. But as we continue to go through this green paper, we'll talk again.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Colin.
Thanks very much, Deborah. Dr. Deborah Icklin, former Shadow Minister of Culture and the Creative Industry. Thanks for being on with us.
No. Not with on the former. I am presently a cultural economy specialist at the University of the West Indies and UNESCO.
Definitely.
So, we don't live in the past.
We pass and leave the past behind. Thank you very much, Dr. Deborah Icklin Gordon. One love.
Grateful for those opportunities. Yes, bye-bye.
Blessings. Yeah, man. So, my listeners and my viewers, the culture and the creative industry have the potential to move Jamaica's economy from this low growth, low tech, low income economy to a high growth, high tech, high income economy. And we're calling Sister Babsy. 876-804-7072. Call me upon that number, leave a message so we can assist you in assisting the country. Even though most of my callers and viewers and supporters and my ambassadors are saying that you can't give plans to corrupt people. But Jamaica is first and foremost. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Yeah, Colin.
Yes,
Good
sir.
evening.
Yeah, man. Talk to me, you're on.
Yeah, man. Good evening.
Yeah, man.
Congrats on the
contents of the orange economy getting to the green paper. No pun intended. and I just have to say, but it's a good look. It's a
Yes.
first step,
Yes.
you know, and I'm heartened, and I'm looking forward to it coming to the white stage where it can actually be realized.
Yes.
Even if them and to their credit, they gave some credit to the fact that they were not the originators of the concept, you know. So it's a good look. All right, that out of the way. I have one other issue to touch base on.
Mm-hmm.
And in the streets, there is some discontent regarding the unaliving of them young people of the Jamaican land we love.
Yes.
And it is whispered in the corridors that it seems as if the PNP are comfortable with that happening because they're looking for anybody in the hierarchy to come out and address it openly, once and for all. I know Fritz and others have spoken individually, even ISAT, but it would be a good thing if the management put together a news conference and come out openly and address it once and for all. Let them know that we're in no way, shape, and form in collusion or in agreement with what's happening to the young people of Jamaica as it relates to the unaliving by the security forces. And saying it in the background is one thing, but hearing it in a official setting coming from the echelons will go a far way of reassuring the ordinary man in the street that the PNP is in no way agreeing with what's going on. So I'm asking you to use your contacts and your pull and your sway to reach out to them and let them know what's being said.
You see, as it relates to that caller, I don't know if I agree with you that the PNP should go keep a press conference to discuss that issue. That issue was happening before the election, and majority of the people who vote said them like it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see where you're coming from. No, I'm not saying that it should be viewed that could I
Hello?
Yeah.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, I went out of range. Yeah, I'm saying I am not in any way suggesting that has been happening since the elections. I know it was happening before. However, as I said, Colin, there are some little rumblings out there that people are saying, not everybody, but a section of society is saying that it seems as if the PNP is in agreement with what's going on.
No, Andrew Holness say. Remember what Andrew Holness say? Andrew Holness says one government at a time. And at this stage, for people to talk about the PNP with what is happening, they are nothing but a set of hypocrites.
And I know that.
The majority of the people voted for the Labour Party. When they voted in back Andrew Holness, they said, driver, don't stop at all. Continue what you're doing.
More of the same.
More of the same. That is what they said to the government. That's Chris Tuftton come on a platform and said PNP must shut up and go be opposition because the people voted for them to be government.
Right.
So how dare anybody now want to blame the PNP? Tell her. No. No. You just vote less than 6 weeks ago. You got an opportunity to change direction. And you said, driver, don't stop at all. Carry them police there with them boy, they go Albemarle.
As I said, what I'm saying to you is not my personal views, just passing on what I hear, the whispering in there. But
don't
to debunk and to put forward that, I have no problem with that.
Don't help them. The good will have to suffer with the bad.
Yes.
There are those of us. There are those of us who went out election morning and cast our votes for change, because
yes.
we did not agree with a lot of what was happening in this government.
Amen.
And we
Amen.
tried our best to bring it to the fore, to say to the Jamaican people that here are some things that them something are wrong. And the people said to us, and let me be clear, majority of the people who went out to vote said to us that we don't want the driver to stop. And those who did not go out to vote said anything where Uno say that we agree
We
upon.
said that we agree with, yeah.
Yeah, man. Anybody when no vote.
That's
I don't know if people understand it. But when you don't vote, what you're basically saying that you go and go deal with it. Anything you say.
You're comfortable with what's going on.
Yeah, anything you say that we are dealing with.
Yeah, you
so,
don't need,
so I don't want nobody come tell me no about PNP must call press conference about police analyzing of our youth. No.
All right, sir.
No call no press conference.
Sir. There you go.
Blessings.
Me just tell you what me I hear still, but me I am of the same. I am of the same opinion as well.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, regardless.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Just being the mouthpiece. But well said. Well said.
All right, my brother.
You know what I mean?
All right.
All right, Colin, take it easy.
Big up yourself. You see? Yeah, man. Crime is never wicked until you reach your doorstep. You know how long me I tell you no? Say we have to be with brother keeper. You remember when Warmington diss me? And I said to you, say, listen, Warmington diss me today. He might go diss you tomorrow. The people of Old Harbour, that constituency, give back Warmington a sound victory to go back to the parliament and disrespect journalists, disrespect the citizens of this country. That's where the people them say, Wami, don't stop at all. Tell them about them, wara. Tell them. That's what they said. That's what they said. They said, Tuffy, don't stop at all. Cornwall Regional got 50 billion. That's what they said. They said, the robbing off of the bus, because we're not forgetting that robbery of the school bus. We're not forgetting the gun law that says if you have an imitation firearm, it's 15 years if you plead guilty upon the first go. If you try to defend it, you might get 20. Majority of who voted said that they endorse what Brogard, Christopher Tuftton, Darrell Vaz, Everard Warmington, Bobby Montague, James Robertson, Floyd Green, Malawu Fort, Delroy Chuck, who said the police then got Fritz Pinnock yard like a Nicodemus in a night, and then they'd have to go arrest Fritz Pinnock, then could have wait till making good on a station. You all liked it. You all said that the people who voted against you must continue. Let me find Obi here. Because no, you see, we did our best in educating the people of East Portland about what was happening. And the people understood the assignment and said no to corruption. The people said no to overspending. The people of East Portland said no to cronyism. The people of East Portland said no to nepotism. Conrad O'Brien, the fireman.
Shaka, Colin Anthony Bell. Boy, I hear you blazing on all cylinders.
Yes,
and Colin, you know, I really and truly want to congratulate you in a big way. You have been steadfast, you have been firm, you have been committed, you have been a part of the true fabric, Colin. And I also want to acknowledge that what was the total number of persons who voted for the PNP?
About 403,000.
Yeah, 400 plus thousands that voted for the People's National Party, Colin. So, you know, we want to acknowledge those persons who went out and voted and said, listen, they were not prepared to support corruption. They were not prepared to support and to hear what Chris Tuftton did, to say that he has been exonerated because the biggest nonsensical argument I've
Let me
ever
play
heard.
that again, Obi, for people who are just joining, because we want to dive in on that properly. So let me play that again for people who are just joining the show. Conrad O'Brien is on the phone, and we're going to discuss this issue with Christopher Tuftton. The Integrity Commission yesterday did their release. Let's play the release first.
Entitled National Policy for Culture, Entertainment and the Creative Economy 2025 to 2035, the Independent Commission of Investigation Special Investigative Report, Planned Police Operations, dated October 2025, Integrity Commission's Investigation Declarations with Integrity Commission for the years 2019, 2020, and 2022, and its indicative ruling, Integrity Commission's Investigation Report into concerns that Mr. Rowan Hall, a council employed to the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, failed to file his statutory declaration with the Integrity Commission for the year 2019 and its indicative ruling, Integrity Commission's report of investigation concerning allegations of procurement irregularities and conflict of interest in the award of contracts to Market Me Consulting Limited by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Thank you.
And then, hold on, Obi. Hold on, because we just want to make certain that all our listeners, if you're just joining us, this is the Colin Bell Show. We are live on Portland Spice TV. And if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe, like, and share. And check out the Conrad Obi, the Fireman channel. It's a new YouTube channel. Want to check it out, give him a subscription, give him a like, and share up the channel as well as we spread the information. One more clip about Chris Tuftton.
We begin.
Listen to
mass
this.
shooting. Marketing and communications firm Market Me Consulting Limited says the Integrity Commission's report on contracts it received from the Ministry of Health and Wellness affirms its integrity and professionalism. In a statement yesterday, the company said for more than 12 years it has served clients across Jamaica's public and private sectors, always guided by purpose, professionalism, and impact. It says with issues surrounding its integrity and professionalism addressed, it will now return to doing great work for the clients and communities. According to the Commission's Director of Investigation, 15 contracts were awarded to Market Me during the review period, 14 by the Health Ministry and 1 by the National Family Planning Board, using the direct contracting procurement method. The total value of these contracts was $78.6 million, with the Health Ministry accounting for $73.7 million. The report concludes that the use of direct contracting breached the Ministry of Finance's guidelines, which limit this method to contracts valued below $1.5 million. While the investigation found no direct evidence that Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tuftton participated in the award of contracts, it concluded that his introduction of Market Me and friendship with its co-managing director, Lindsay McDonough, created a perceived conflict of interest. And Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tuftton says he's relieved by what he has characterized as his vindication by the Integrity Commission report.
I have maintained that we did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong, and the ministry didn't do anything wrong, and the process was followed. I'm happy now that the report has confirmed that by indicating very explicitly that there's no evidence that my own involvement was represented undue influence or I directed anyone. And certainly, while it was critical of aspects of the administration of the process directed at the ministry, there is nothing in the report to suggest anything untoward. So from that standpoint, I think it represents vindication.
So,
Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tuftton.
Obi, the man say he was
Yes.
vindicated.
Colin, listen. Your previous guest before me, my friend and sister, Dr. Deborah Hicklin Gordon, late father, the late professor, the late great professor Hicklin, who was one of the Caribbean renowned psychiatrists, said that a great majority of people are walking around with mental illness. And this is not to cast any assertion or to speak against people who are walking around with mental retardation or mental illness. But certainly, it seems to me that listening to the Minister of Health, he would need to go and see one of our psychiatrists, because certainly, Colin, he could not be in his right mind and believe that based on what came out of that report by the IC yesterday that was tabled in the parliament, that he has been vindicated. It is the furthest thing from the truth. I'll just cite one thing, for example, out of that. The mere fact that the principal and the company was introduced by Dr. Christopher Tuftton. That in itself basically summarized one of the great aspects that he could not have been vindicated by this. The other thing is that this person that he introduced wasn't just a cursory acquaintance, a passers-by. It was an intimate relationship that they shared. So I wonder, God heavens, Christopher Tuftton. So I wonder, God heavens, Chris Tuftton could say that. In addition to that, he presided over a ministry that gave 15 contracts, valued of over almost $80 million.
To one
that
company.
Did not go through the proper procurement process. And Chris Tuftton is looking at the Jamaican people with a straight face and said that he has been vindicated, where he should be fired or he should tender his resignation.
Obi, in any self-respecting democracy, Dr. Tuftton would have handed in his resignation at least by this morning.
Indeed, Colin, and we go further. If Andrew Holness worth his salt and really believe that he received a mandate from the Jamaica people to lead, he should do the right thing and fire Chris Tuftton.
Andrew can't fire nobody, Obi. Cannot fire anybody at this time because the Prime Minister is in a similar position.
I get your point. Colin, and that is why even this morning, and this is another little layer here I'm bringing in, but it basically concludes the circle. That is why, Colin, because we don't know, to date, we don't even know if Christopher Tuftton is one of those additional persons who is on the investigation for illicit enrichment. And that is why Conrad O'Brien, I support the argument, and Mark Golden basically alluded to it during the campaign, that he was prepared to look at the gag clause that form a part of the IC mandates.
But
right?
that will not be touched now. That will not be touched now. No, it will not be touched,
Colin. But what I'm saying, I understand, I agree with you, my brother. But what I'm saying is that these are some of the things, Colin, that we in the Fourth Estate, those of us who practice this trade, we have to now call harder and make noise that, listen, move this gag clause, because right now we don't know if the 12 or the 11 of them return to Parliament. We don't know, Colin.
But one of the questions, one of the questions we need to ask, if this investigation was one of those that was for illicit enrichment, which I doubt, I doubt that
No,
this
man. No, not at all.
this was not one of them.
Not
But
at
but
all.
but
Not at all.
Obi, what do you say to people who are saying that the Integrity Commission did not charge Chris Tuftton or did not refer him to the Director of Corruption Prosecution for charges, but referred him to the Speaker of the House? And the other, go ahead, Bo, on that. What do you say to those people?
All right. Well, certainly, what they're saying is that it didn't reach the threshold for them at the IC to basically charge him, but they believe that he had breached, so at least he deserved to be reprimanded by the House Speaker.
I said to somebody today that it is not a criminal offense, but it is an offense that goes against the ethics of the parliament, that goes
Indeed,
against your moral fiber, and therefore, when these things are proven, and Chris Tuftton yesterday even said he accept the ruling of the Integrity Commission. And if you accept this report, then you must resign.
All right, Colin. Let's basically look at it this way. Based on the rule that the IC would have gone, we are calling for his removal. But here the route that the IC would have gone on. The IC basically take the approach of a corporate body, a company, a large company that say, listen, a worker had breached and had committed some egregious things. However, they're saying that, listen, we are not going to be using the ultimate punishment by basically sever you from the job. We are going to be recommended departmental leave. That's exactly what happened. But you would be, departmental disciplinary action. So it could be very well be that maybe whatever is appropriate, the department would take that. So that is what they did when they threw it into the arm now, or into the lap of the Speaker of the House.
Yes.
To say, listen, one among you have breached, but we are not seeing it that it reached the threshold where we want to go, the ultimate penalty.
So there's no criminal breach there.
Indeed.
Because nepotism is not a criminal offense in Jamaica, but they are ethical breaches and moral breaches. What do we do?
Absolutely, Colin, so we are watching to see what will the Speaker do. And one of the things that, for example, within the whole circle of things, let's say the Prime Minister believe that he still needs Christopher Tuftton in his cabinet. Maybe the thing to do is to basically move him out of the Ministry of Health, because this is where he had committed so much atrocity, so much
misconduct.
The word I'm searching for.
Misconduct.
Well, he had committed so much egregious errors in the ministry, from, well, we see with Market Me and Cornwall, all sorts of things. So this would be a glorious opportunity for the Prime Minister to say, boy, Chris, we can't hold it so no more.
I want you to listen to something. Obi, I want to play a clip for those of my listeners who are just joining. And once again, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Portland Spice TV, and I just put up Conrad Obi, the fireman of a new channel. I am inviting you also to check it out. But I want to play something, Obi. Listen this. Listen this.
Stand to be corrected that when the IC does an investigation, it alerts the individual to the fact that they are being investigated.
Okay.
And this issue never came up. Never came up in the election. Never came up in any discussion.
Yeah.
So, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And guess what? We are going to accept it.
Of course. No, you're nobody.
I don't hear any other pundits who pontificate and other crap.
No.
And there's one woman in particular who has well, me name know if she still have the website. But me not see nothing from her. This don't offend nobody. And we just go on.
Just move on. Move on. Move on.
Because guess what? Integrity Commission can't prove nothing. All they can do is insinuate and suggest and raise red flag and pass the buck and whatnot.
And that's the end of the story. And conflicts of interest are not crimes.
No, well, actually,
This is what I want.
I had to look up conflict of
In
interest.
Jamaica, they are not crimes. Maybe if you're dealing with Xi Jinping or Kim Jong-un, then...
Most businesses, a conflict of interest isn't universally illegal in Jamaica,
Right.
in the sense of a standalone criminal offense. It's prohibited by law and policy in specific contexts, particularly for public officers and company directors, where it violates fiduciary duties, can lead to mandatory exclusion in procurement, or is a prohibited act that may result in criminal prosecution if it involves malicious destruction of information. Many government bodies and public entities have codes of ethics and conduct that require disclosure and management of conflicts with violations subject to disciplinary action.
Theoretically.
So, according to the Integrity Commission, one of the flags and issues it had is that neither the significant partner in Market Me or the minister declared their friendship.
Which is a conflict of interest.
But according to that, there's a code of ethics and conduct that requires disclosure and management of conflicts with violations subject to disciplinary action and potential criminal charges depending on the circumstance.
On paper, this...
Obi, what can the Speaker of the House do to Tuftton? And we play that whole thing about conflict of interest just for our listeners.
But you know, Colin, you see how the whole thing intertwined, because we went to the business aspect. We use a similar analogy as what Simon used just, but he went further to basically to read that aspect as what it is. The whole business of conflict of interest and so on, that it could rise to a criminal scenario. Yes. Based on how it was done. And this whole aspect, Colin, of the non-disclosure, the fact that Tuftton did not disclose his friendship, neither did the young lady disclose her friendship. And as I said before, we all have it revealed subsequent, before now, that the friendship that they share wasn't just a platonic relationship, but it was indeed a deeper, intimate affair.
Sue in the chat room is saying ethics and morals are only found in the dictionary these days.
When it comes to Jamaica, let's limit it to Jamaica, because
yeah, definitely.
It is practiced elsewhere.
Definitely.
And remember, Raleigh just alluded to what happened. She's place, right? And them places, them guys there, some guys, and I'm not advocating at all. I'm just saying that in some place, some guys will be beheaded.
In Singapore, where you're a whole heap of people like talk about Singapore. In Singapore, right? The Minister of Health would be a goner. Is either he would be behind bars or he would have met his maker.
Right? The other day, Colin, we saw, I forgot the name of the country just now. I think it was a former prime minister or former minister of finance. He was actually pulled out of his house in his underwear. In his underwear.
Obi.
And the breach wasn't nowhere as palpable as what we see here, Colin. The fact of the matter is that Jamaican, we have basically buried ourselves in a mire of corruption, Colin, and it seems as if it means absolutely nothing. As a matter of fact, it looked like one of the criteria for elevation is for you to be corrupt. When you saw Colin, when you saw a man who should be hiding in shame, granted,
somebody say it is Brazil. It happened in Brazil. Is that one you're talking about?
Yes, same one. Remember now, Colin, although we operate under the auspices of innocent until proven guilty, but the fact that a minister housekeeper, a minister driver came out and testified so far, and so on, and we have no reason not to believe them, and you are go to court with your bright self a hold up forefinger about 4 term. Jesus Christ,
4 term loading.
Let me tell you something.
Hold
I'm not
on.
calling the Lord
Obi.
in vain, but it's a disgrace.
From 2020, I tell you, say, Ruel Reid will walk free.
I don't think he will.
Ruel Reid will walk free.
He will not and he should not. Enough evidence is there. What Hugh Wildman, his attorney, is doing, Colin, what he is doing, and he will not get it. He is asking for the court to throw it out because and a particular technicality, and it will not be thrown out. And that technicality,
I am wagering a bet that Ruel Reid and Fritz Pinnock will walk free. I am ready to wager another bet that Chris Tuftton will get off with a slap on the wrist or maybe a kiss on the wrist.
Well, I can understand. I think Chris will get off with a slap on the wrist. But I tell you something, Colin, and believe me, I understand what you're saying. But I am looking at the thing, Colin, to say it is so egregious. All right? In case somebody listening to me and hear me probably not pronouncing that letter there properly. So let me give it to you. Egregious, right?
Yes. Some people are agreeing with you that he will never walk free, but what Jamaica has become is a country where corruption has been normalized.
Colin, you know that what happened. The case is not being discussed, and the merit that Ruel Reid, Pinnock, etc., et al., not guilty, you know. What is being argued is that they were charged by the FID, and his lawyer is saying that the FID doesn't have the mandate to arrest. So he is asking the court to throw it out on that basis, not that Reid et al. Is not guilty.
It won't be thrown out on that basis because a lot of the people who work in the FID are police officers, and a constable never gives up the right of arrest. A constable can always arrest you.
Absolutely. And I believe, Colin, my brother Colin, Shaka, that even with the 15% not available, I believe that there are sufficient material there from the 85% of the witness and so on to convict Reid and his co-accused.
Well, I am telling you this evening, Ruel Reid, Fritz Pinnock, what's the counselor name? Brown Lawrence.
Brown Lawrence.
They will all walk free.
And also, Colin, I carried that story today, and I had to
Kim Brown Lawrence.
It was an error. Kim Brown Lawrence. It was an error. An error was made by the observer. They basically describe her as former counsel. She is not a former counsel.
She's
is
still
present
counsel.
She was, and she still is. She actually ran back in the last local government election, even though she was charged, but she was given the nod by the Labour Party, nonetheless, to run as the Brownstown division. She's a councillor for
somewhere in Centon. But Obi, yes, let me just invite those who want to participate in the discussion. Give me a call on 876-202-9201. That's 876-202-9201. 9201 if you want to weigh in on this aspect of the discussion right now. So I'm giving you that number, so I will have Obi on the line with you on the line if you want to join in this discussion. That's 876-202-9201. Chris Tuftton will get a kiss on the wrist for introducing his friend to the ministry, and his friend get 14
Well,
contract. 14 contract.
You
14.
Don't think there's any possibility of him getting this on the lips?
Tell her. No, Delana wouldn't have that. Delana would not have that.
Oh my goodness.
No, Delana would not have that.
Let me say good evening to my friend, and I'm using this word very, very loosely here, to my friend, the most honorable Mrs. Juliet Holness, Speaker of the House. Hi, Juliet. How you doing?
So, Obi,
yes.
The Integrity Commission said that Chris Tuftton did not tell his ministry that the lady from Market Me is his friend, and that poses also a problem.
Yes.
What say you?
A big problem, Colin. We're talking about ministers of government. I'm going to share something with you. I remember when the People's National Party was in government. Mrs. Simpson Miller, was it Mrs. Simpson Miller who was the Prime Minister? I stand corrected there. I stand corrected. It could have been PJ's tenure. Under whose watch Horace Daly was the Minister of Health? Under Portia?
No, unless he came on after Dr. Tuftton. Because Tuftton was not Tuftton, sorry, Dr. Fenton Ferguson. Under Portia, Fenton was
before. He was before Fenton. He was before. Yeah, he was Labour Minister before Ferguson. So I think it was after. I think it was under Portia. So it was when the situation arose at the Ministry of Health there with Fenton. He was actually sent to the Ministry of Health. So I think he was Labour Minister at the time, but it was a little bit before that time. So it could have been PJ. However, the point I'm making, Professor Floyd Morris was the state minister at the time. And when I went to the ministry to see Horace at the time, and, I stopped by to hail up my brethren Floyd. And believe me, Colin, civil service or his 8 people in the take was just tripping over themselves. I'm going to have to do this. The minister, Floyd was a junior minister.
Yes.
Right? Chris Tuftton is arguably one of the most powerful ministers in the government base and his portfolio responsibility. Ministry of Health has special responsibility even for spending. The Ministry of Health outside of the Ministry of Finance is the ministry that basically has certain leverage to do things because of its mandate, all right, in terms of spend and so on and so on. I'm unable to go through everything now because I would have to basically go back for my notes. But I know that, right? I know it because I was sort of intimate in terms of certain things when Dr. Ferguson was the Minister of Health. So I know a thing or two there. As a matter of fact, for disclosure, I actually, like yourself, Colin, we serve on some boards there. So we actually know a thing or two, all right, as to how these things goes. And so the truth is that when you look at the power that is wielded by a minister of government, and I'm talking about any minister from any party, the power that is wielded by a minister of government is not ordinary. It is not ordinary. When you are introduced in that way, and obviously because you know the relationship that you have with the person, you're going to basically insert yourself. And you're not just introducing, you're saying that do this. I am prepared to wager a bet. Him not going accept it. Not going accept it because it was implicating. But there wasn't an ordinary introduction. It was certainly a recommendation given. It was a recommendation given
Yes.
to say, listen,
Yes.
everything that we're doing here with this a market me, forget it.
This is the company that I am recommending.
Right?
This is
So
let's my
let's not push the foot around.
Listen.
Let's not push the foot around because that is why you must steer arm's length away from these things because the power that you wield, right? For example, let's look at it even. In the normal run of the mill, the permanent secretary supposed to have the sway over running certain things. But the permanent secretary basically is at the base of the minister.
Of course they have to answer to the minister. The minister is the man. Right. And he doesn't sign anything really. And that's why you can't hold him accountable. That's why the IC can only find that he recommended Market Me. The IC saying that he wasn't involved in the contract. Ministers don't get involved in contract signing like that. But Colin, when they make that recommendation, when the minister carry in and say, this man do this. Hold on for me, Obi. Hold on. Marshy. Hello? Marshy, you're listening to your TV. Come off of your TV.
Oh. Sorry about that.
Go ahead.
Good evening, Obi.
Obi, now hear you because you can't.
Hear me. May I tell you something? Jesus died for us while we were yet sinners.
Yeah.
You see? But may I tell you something?
Yeah.
When Jesus look at the sins.
Hold on there, Marshy. Hold on. Obi.
Colin?
Yes, you hearing me?
Colin?
Yes, Obi, you hearing me?
Hello?
Yeah, man. Obi, I hearing you, Just stay on this line. Go ahead, Marshy.
Yes. Christ died for us while we were yet sinners.
Mm-hmm.
He died for us. So the sin where we are going to commit before we even commit it. But me know, sir, right now you have to take a look at the Jamaica Labour Party, Chris Tuftton and the Prime Minister.
Why so?
And him have to go make a change. To die to set them sinners free. Something wrong in heaven. Believe me.
Talk to me.
This is too terrible, man. This is too terrible.
What is terrible, Marshy? What is terrible?
When this behavior with Christopher Tuftton, at the bully over the permanent secretary and the rest of them, right? And it can't be that all of the contract, the man is a lie and thief and wicked. They splint out the contract.
Market right? Me got 6 contracts in one day, Obi.
Not take with him, fool, sir.
6 contracts in one day.
Yeah, to get around the law.
Hold on, Obi. Hold on, Marshy. Obi, what do you think about that? 6 contracts in one day. Obi.
All right.
Obi.
All right. Colin. I'm going to say
I wasn't hearing the call. I wasn't hearing neither you nor the caller.
You're hearing us now?
Hello?
Are you hearing us now, Obi?
All right. Colin.
Yeah, Marshy.
I'll go and run. But the man, they just print up the contract and them do them thing and them try to trick the Jamaican people. Mm-hmm. You know, too much thing go on for them way, too much luck run for them way. You see the Prime Minister?
Yeah.
Remember so the Prime Minister money all dump in a FEMA account and him don't know how it's written at the account?
Lord have mercy. All right, Marshy. Thank you.
We make it answer lucky, but just before I go, I want to say, good job, Wildman. The lawyer, Wildman is doing his job, and he must not be criticized. What his duty?
What is Wildman doing?
Wildman trying his best to set them free. That's the job of a lawyer. The prosecutor must do them work.
Obi, what are your views on 6 contracts in one day.
Well, Colin, the thing get deeper. The thing has just basically got more and more rotten. You know, something stink in the state of Jamaica, and certainly it's not fish. You know, and that is the reason why I started out the way I had. In that, for Chris Tuftton as an intelligent being to really come out and look Jamaicans in the face and say he has been exonerated, it is basically a further slap in the face of the Jamaican people. And as you correctly mentioned now, we're 6 contracts in one day. And what was the volume of those contracts? And they were obviously split up in order to basically meet the threshold.
Hey, Colin?
Go ahead, Marshy.
Wow.
Listen, me make a contact him, but in Jamaica, you have 3 levels of teeth. You hear? 3 levels.
Hey.
There are teeth, damn teeth, and damn blasted teeth. I'm true to you. The damn blasted teeth, the lighter word, me now use the heavy one.
You hear that, Obi? 3 type of teeth. All right, Marshy. Go ahead, Obi.
Ah, boy.
Marshy said there are 3 types of thieves. Thief, damn teeth, and damn blasted teeth.
Colin?
Yes, Obi. I lose Obi off of that phone. But Madam Producer, you have something to say? Go ahead, man. Yeah. Yeah. Who may I get a job to? Yeah, but in your private business and in my capacity, in my private business, may I get a job to my best friend? But there are rules. Exactly. That is one of the things that is happening in Jamaica. These people are running the government as if it is their private business, and it can't work. It can't work. It's not their private business. I'm trying to get back Obi on the line. Yes, caller, go ahead. Go ahead, caller. Hello, good evening.
Yes, Baba.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Yeah. Why you believe that Tuftton and Rory and friend them will get away?
Why me believe them all get away?
Why you believe, yeah? Why you believe them will get away?
The level of corruption in this country, my brother, doesn't give me any confidence. And the other thing is that we are already hearing them say they can't find some of the weaknesses. So,
all right,
in a little while, you soon hear people start saying them forgot. And like you remember this man here, where his name, where the Minister of National Security, where say, I can't recall. You remember that man? Yes. So, I expect a whole heap of that to happen. I can't recall.
They don't have no confidence in the justice system and the big wigs.
No, none at all. No confidence.
So why you believe PNP will win the next year election?
Why I believe PNP will win the other election?
Yeah, if there's so much corruption in the country and nobody now pay attention to honesty or whatsoever, your corruption.
Hold on for me, caller. Obi, are you hearing the caller now?
Hold
on for me, caller. Obi, are you hearing the caller now?
No, I'm not.
All right,
I'm not hearing the caller. I'm actually listening on another gadget, but I'm not hearing it.
No, if you
I have to keep on.
If you're listening,
I don't know if you are hearing me. Are you hearing me?
I am hearing you loud and clear, and I'm trying to fix this line. So if don't listen on the other gadget. Just stay on the.
I can't hear you, so I'm actually listening to you on another gadget.
All right. So when you hear the other gadget, turn off the other gadget. I'm gonna fix that. But caller.
Yeah, I hear him now.
Yeah, man.
I am hearing him.
I am know you are hearing him. But go ahead.
Yeah.
You were saying why I believe that the man them going get way. And why is it that I believe that PNP will win the next general election. The election, you see, is about the masses of the people making a decision. And I believe that with the level of corruption, and if these people are not able to grow the economy, then the understanding will come that there is problem in the house. And I hope Obi
Yes, but
hearing me now.
it's gonna be a long while before it's even a 6th term. They're gonna get before PMP will win.
They're not going to get 4
Are
terms.
the people will change their mind?
They're not going to get 4 terms. The people will vote them out.
Right? But you don't have no confidence in the higher heads and the money. Appear corruption.
No, I don't have no confidence in them.
Yes, so them are going to buy out the people them all the while, and the people them are going to take it. When I say PMP must go for them way, you know.
No, but you can stop the money, and some of us have the knowledge of how to beat the money. Because what we did in East Portland is we beat the money. So
yes, I'm saying, but on the day, remember I said the game no win. The game win on the day of the match.
But when I said to you, my brother, there are those of us who now understand how to beat the money on the day. Hold the line for me. Let me see if I have Obi. Obi.
I'm here, Colin. I'm here.
And you are hearing me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear. Yes.
Beautiful. And you're hearing the caller too. Caller, go ahead.
Yes, I'm hearing the caller.
Beautiful, beautiful. Technology, my brother. So, caller, the caller is saying
Let me weigh in for a minute, Colin, on what the caller is saying. Please.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
All right. You see, the caller is asking some question and putting forward some viewpoint. What happened over time? Over time, people will basically see things and so on. Because let's face it, let's not downplay what happened on the 3rd of September. The PNP went into the election outspent in every way and so on, and they came home with 14 additional seats, right? While some people may criticize whoever, and so, but let us give credit where credit is due. Let us offer some commendation to the leadership and to those constituency leadership that basically carried their seats. Obviously, there were seats there that we expected the PNP to carry. Certainly, seat that come to your mind immediately is where I voted in central Manchester. There is Northern Trelawney that came to mind readily. Central Kingston that came to mind readily, to name 3 off the top of your head. Obviously, we are anticipating a Gabriella Morris to come home as well. I think that the young lady who worked very hard, I believe that the party could have put a much more buffering around her in terms of some more experienced resource person. And indeed, I believe that she could not match the money power that came up against her. So all in all, it's a lot of things. So as you said, Colin, there has been some amount of learning curve, and experience play a role. To take, for example, a senior operator, a maestro, like a fellow that I know. I don't know if you know him. A maestro, like one Colin Anthony Bell out of East Portland. That I know the kind of work that you know that fellow.
I think I met him. I think I met him more than half a century ago.
all right, cool. Well, so you have somebody like you can understand the lay of the land, and you also had an exciting candidate there in Isaac. So all of that kind of come together to really bring home East Portland. Because if it, as you correctly said, if it was money to bring home East Portland, Isaac would basically just be sitting in his law office and say, boy, this is the guy that I walk up Duke Street, but all I can do is walk past
it.
I'll go sit down at the
no
gallery.
Candidate had access to the kind of money that the former member of parliament for East Portland have. Them have the most money. And they have turned Portland in the capital of vote buying in Jamaica. And we defeated the money. So the money can be defeated.
You look at Dr. Horton down in St. James there.
We have a caller. We still have the caller. Caller?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, man. Go ahead with your final comments.
Yeah, man. I still believe, say, you know, PMP have to come good. You know, I say PMP must adapt the vote buying thing. And I think they should remain clean. But the whole system and the whole country with the biggest business people, they are corrupt.
Yes.
And you're gonna have to take out the government. Because they're not going back to Michael Manley and no Patterson and no Portia Simpson idea. They now go back there so they might fill them pocket and that they want. And that this government want.
All right,
all right, my boss.
Enough respect and thanks.
Yeah.
876-804-7072. That's 876-804-7072. Somebody in the chat room know me from me a boy, then call me Robot, then call me Ian. That's friends. Big up yourself. From Shrewsbury, you must come from. Obi, I have been hearing that argument. Hold on, I've been hearing this argument that it is going to be very difficult for the People's National Party to win another general election in Jamaica. And I reminded some people yesterday evening that the PNP beat the GLP 4 times in a row. This is 3 times that the GLP has beaten us in a row. And we must admit that Andrew has outsmarted us for those 3 elections. And we have to give him some credit, Obi. Some people vexed yesterday evening when we say you have to give the man credit if a man beat you 3 times in a row. He must have something. He must be doing something better than you.
That is true. And for example, one of the things that we can identify immediately, we can identify this pen.
Mm-hmm.
We can identify this pen. We can identify the voter suppression, all of those sort of things. So what happened now is that the PNP has that template, know exactly the lay of the land. So the PNP, through its secretariat and divisional leadership, constituency leadership, and so on, should be there hankering down to say, how are we going to counter this?
Yes.
They may not have the kind of money, but there must be a strategy as to how they are going to counter it. And I say this, Colin, before you allow the caller to come in. That strategy that the PNP is looking at, they must be doing deal with now in earnest, and we should see glimpses of it coming up in the next 2 years or so at the local government poll.
Caller, go ahead.
There should be a dry run of that.
876-804-70. Go ahead, caller.
On your topic, you know, the topic that you're talking about, rural read going to prison.
Yeah.
A long time I tell you this, man. Nobody we connect to Andrew Holness will never get no charge on his government.
Well, no, you're wrong about charge because Rural Reid has been charged. But will he go
when
to
they
prison?
Say charge, I mean nobody will go to prison then. Let me state it the right way.
I agree with you.
Nobody under Andrew Holness government, none of them now go to prison. None.
You know, see, hold on, Obi. When Rural Reid
is that indictment on the judiciary, though?
It's not about the judiciary. Well, the judiciary have the responsibility now to either find him guilty or not guilty.
And Shaka.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this, man. The justice system under Andrew Holness administration one of the most every one of them in the corrupt now.
In the justice system. No, I don't know if I want to go that far with the justice system.
When I tell a personal, when it comes to Andrew Holness, right now with him in a power, the justice system is corrupt and biased.
Caller. Andrew Holness will be going to court. Is the 13th, Obi?
Yes, I think so, yes.
Andrew Holness will be going to court on the 13th. Where you said the court are going to dash where the IC to?
Look here, I tell you this straight up. The only way these people can get charged, not under the justice system in Jamaica. I'm telling you straight. With the high C, it doesn't matter who. As long as it comes to Andrew Holness, none of them now get charged in a Jamaica.
Boy,
Then
Colin,
man,
I
look,
have to,
wait there.
Hold on, Obi.
Obi,
Hold on a little bit. Hold on a little bit. Wait, go ahead,
Yeah.
finish, caller.
All right, coming from Grace McLean, all of these people coming down. Look how many things going on. Look how many years these. Look how much people do things after these people and get charged and gone to prison. What happened to these people?
Caller,
the justice system is a big problem and failure in a Jamaica right now.
Hold on, Grace McLean. It was the finance ministry who allowed Grace McLean to get off. You know, that money that she was supposed to pay back when the Auditor General says she must pay back.
Yeah, man.
It is the government, not the judiciary. It is the government that sat aside and allowed the time to pass. So the statute of limitation kick in. No, but Ruel Reid is before the court.
Yeah?
Ruel Reid is now before the court.
Yes. But remember, right now this case not going to start trial. You hear them start to come already saying how much evidence, 15% of the evidence have been missing. You realize all sort of things they are coming up with.
Make
come
Obi,
on, Colin,
hold
man.
on.
Look here, man.
Make Obi come in on this. Obi, what are your views to what the caller is saying?
All right. You know, Colin, I understand the caller's skepticism because it really kind of appeared that way in Jamaica. However, I want to exercise some level of optimism, and I still believe that we must regard the judicial system as a pillar of which we must continue to have some amount of confidence in, Colin. If what the caller is expressing, and unfortunately, that's the view of a whole lot of people out there, Colin. So it just goes to show that we're in a very, very sad place. Colin, I want to just say this, just to kind of tie in everything that we're talking about. The murder that took place in the Linstead area there,
Commodore,
which is said that men were dressed in police regalia, right? Police vests and so on. Do you know that, Colin? Because of the skepticism and the lack of trust within the system, do you know that people call me up on radio? I say them believe, say the
police.
people them will carry out the act of police. It is a sad state of affair, Colin.
Very sad state of affair, Obi. Very sad state of affair. Because I asked Fitz Jackson yesterday what he had to say about the men announced themselves as police, got the people comfortable, and then start firing.
Yes.
Serious.
Mr. Bell, me can say my last piece Ango?
Yes, go ahead with the last piece, yes.
Me just mention one more thing and then me say my last piece. You remember the Prime Minister lawyer when man did in our house with no breaking?
Tell her.
Yeah, me I go say my last piece.
Hold on,
now.
you're talking about a man named Patrick Daly.
Daly.
And it just go to sleep.
All right.
I want that you remember, hold on. You remember a man named Dr. Linville Bloomfield that was unalive in the house? And a man got court and just walk away and it just sleep. Tell her.
Okay. You see the biggest problem, Jamaica have right now?
Yeah.
The people who are living in the country and the justice system. That are the biggest, because the people are damn fool and dunce, just like Darrell Vast said. Let me tell you straight.
Little more. Thank you, caller. Obi, it is no fun. Excellence. Turn off the instrument in the background. Excellent.
Cool.
Yeah, man. Obi, people don't trust the system.
That is the sad state, Colin. As a matter of fact, I must tell you, Colin, one of our admirer, a listener, supporter of all of us, Miss P. You see?
Yes.
She called me today, and you know, as a matter of fact, Miss P, touch base with Colin, and actually, Colin will give you my number if you're listening. I gather she may be listening. because I want to get some information from her off here, and I forgot to get the number from my producer. But Colin, she called. I think she worked in the security industry, and she said that she lost her job just because she was outspoken and there to support the PNP.
Oh?
That's what she said today.
She lost her job when? Since the 3rd of September?
Yes.
Let me hear what this call officer will be. Excellence. Excellence.
My brother and friend. How you doing, man?
Welcome. Conrad O'Brien, the fireman, is also on the line.
Boy, I don't know what I've gotten myself into, you know. It's greatness I'm seeing because when I took up the phone to call you and I heard you and Obi on the line, the phone just kept on saying, you're about to enter the presence of greatness.
Tell her!
You and Obi's greatness combined, man.
Yes, man. Talk
you
to
know,
me.
You have engaged yourself in two very, very good discussions. The last two discussions, I find them very interesting. And you know, I have a discussion earlier today about where should the PNP go from now. It's what I might believe, Shaka. I was there. Well, you know I'm around in the politics.
Yes.
I know I'm very active in the politics. You know, I love the politics, and I've been a victim just like Dr. Andre Dixon, a victim just like Dr. Brennan and many others.
Yeah.
Due to labor right victimization. But there's something, Shaka, I want to say. The Labour Party did in fact spend a lot of money in the election.
Yes.
But I'm going to say this, you see, if you don't have strong organization, real good organization, when the money come in, you will be like a house built on sand and not on rock.
Yeah.
You'll be washed away by the money.
Yes.
I said this to say, we have seen, because I know the money was spreading all over. I know the money was spending very hard in Eastern St. Thomas. I know the money was spending hard in Eastern Portland. I know the money was spending hard in Southeast St. Mary. But didn't those constituencies stood up?
Yes.
They withheld the money power. And why did they withheld the money power? Organization. And I believe, Shaka, that the party going forward should ensure that everybody who wants to be candidate at any level at all, the party should reopen the party school. And anybody who wants to be candidates to run without any level, whether want to be parish council level or central government level, you should undergo training, Shaka.
Yeah.
To make you understand political organization.
Critical.
Before you can vote, you're going to run to be the candidate. You understand the rudiments of how to organize for an election, Shaka.
Yes.
Because a lot of our candidates lost because they did the ability to understand the rudiments of political organization was not there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that played a great difference when money showered down on people.
I tell you one thing, Excellence, OB. When I ran in the local government election, there was a polling station in my division that voted up until 8 p.m. You remember I tell you about that, OB?
Yeah, man. Yes, I remember clearly.
They voted up until 8 p.m. You see, in this election, we just finished. At 5 o'clock, 5 people were in the line left to vote. 5. And at 15 minutes after 5 o'clock, that polling station was closed.
All right.
And that
you lost your election by much like 100 odd votes?
130 odd. And 90 odd of those votes came in after 5 o'clock in that polling station. And the other thing that I will tell you, it was about to happen had I not gone there, fix the situation on election day, and ensure that it didn't happen again.
So you experience, Colin, you learn. You learn.
That's what I tell you, say. The money can be beaten.
But
I
Shaka,
want
it
to say
only
this.
can be
Excellent.
beaten. It will only be beaten, Shaka,
Excellent.
if you have
I want
strong
to say this.
Hold
Quickly.
on a little bit, Obi. Just finish that thought. Excellent. Go ahead.
I'm saying it will only be beaten if you have strong organization and people who properly understand the rudiments of political organization and why they're actually in the position they are.
Thank you. Go ahead, Obi.
Yeah, I want to say something, sir, that the team is absolutely important because as it relates to the strategy and so on. Because let's face it, let's take Isaac for example. Isaac came in long in the piece. I am not aware that Isaac would have been so versed in terms of the political aspect of things. But what happened? He had a formidable team. He had people like yourself, Colin. He had people like Dexter. And what's the other senior counsel their name?
Wayne McKenzie, Natalie Wright, Sean Cook. All of those people.
He had person like
Natalie Wright, Sean Cook.
Natalie.
All of those people have been in the constituency since 2019, participated in the 2019 election, participated in the 2020 election, and the 2024 election. So he had a team with people who have experience.
And I dare say, Colin, I believe, I don't know Gabby's full team, but
Obi?
Sorry?
Yeah, man.
Yes. Yeah, I'm saying that I don't know Gabby's full team, Colin, but I believe that could very well be a part of what failed her. She probably not have that kind of strategic team like you and those guys, those folks that we mentioned, were able to provide around her. You understand?
Yes, that's solid backup.
She probably didn't have that. So it's important. It's important that sometimes we look at not just the candidate. While I agree with excellence that it will be good for us to have the candidate up on the political curve as well, but the team, where I am more interested in, Colin, where I'm more interested in we having a trained person rather than or the PMP having a trained person rather than the candidate is campaign manager. I think it is critical for us to have a cadre of trained campaign managers, people who really and truly understand the politics and are committed to the process.
Hold on, Obi. We have a caller. Excellence, we're coming right back to you. Caller, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Miss P, man. Me, I think I cross and me, Mr. O'Brien say,
Oh, this is who?
Miss P.
Miss P. WhatsApp the number to this same number here. Here? Just send a WhatsApp with the number. Don't give your number on the ear. Just send a WhatsApp so I can give it to Obi after we come off.
Man.
All right? Yeah, man.
All right.
Excellence. Hold on, Obi. Yeah, Excellence. You're on mute. Just go ahead with your final points because we're wrapping up short. Go ahead. Excellent. You're still on mute.
I was saying I do agree with Obi because I believe that anybody at all who wants to be campaign manager, candidates should go through the party school, and not just as it should be an ongoing process where we train people for them to understand the rudiments. Because if you want a good party structure, that's what we have to go back to. You can't take up a man and say, oh, you're a campaign manager, and they do not even understand the first thing about assessing a constituency, seeing where the votes are, seeing what needs to be done to turn over X amount of votes, seeing where it's a lot of these things that makes the very difference in elections. And elections these days, I don't see any coming election we're going to have a wipeout of 50 to 30 and more like that. So we have to be very meticulous about what we do. And that was what made the difference between us and the Labour Party in this election. When we lose a Central Kingston by 70 odd votes, when we lose a Central Manchester by 182 votes, right? These are seats that the party should have won.
Northern Trelawney by less than 300.
Rhoda Crawford had 0 councillors, but yet still she beat us. Yes, I know they spent money, but where was the groundwork for each of the councillors that was there to know the number that they had to take out to bring the people out. I'm going to give you an example. If you watch the parish council elections of 2020, you would have seen something. For example, in KCAC,
You
we
mean
lost
2024?
Mavis Bank. 2024, we lost Mavis Bank by 13 votes, right? We lost Southborough by 2 or 4 votes. So we lost Landoway by 10 votes. So we're looking, Chaka, at a constant situation where we don't understand where the rudiments at time. And we need to get back to the place where, as PMP, we go back, we train our campaign managers and train a plethora of them.
Yes.
So we can have them to put across the country.
We definitely
Because
need that.
you have an election that you can't find campaign manager for some candidates, and candidates will find their own campaign manager, their own campaign team. If we were to train people
Go
in
ahead,
surplus,
Obi.
it would be good for the party.
Excellent.
Yes, man.
Yeah, man, excellent. You're definitely on point. On point. I saw it firsthand, right? People who were working as campaign manager did not understand the first tenets of the politics. They understood nothing at all. First thing to begin with, people must understand that, listen, campaign manager is different from a secretary. A campaign manager is different from a secretary.
You know,
hello?
Somebody, Obi.
Hold on. Excellent. Excellent. Hold on. Finish up, Obi.
No, I was saying that a campaign manager, Colin, is different from a secretary. There's also another thing that I want to point, because I'm saying that because I saw where you have some people who were brought in, and essentially they were more a secretary. You know, where you could have asked them, say, listen, jot down this or jot down that, or put that into the computer. That's a different thing from a campaign manager. That's a different thing from a campaign manager. The other thing that I want to point out, Colin, that I saw, which was glaring, and boy, the discussion has morphed into so many other things.
You understand?
And I asked the question, Colin, I saw too many candidates had what is called disappearing message on their phone. How can you, in the jaws of an election, and you as a candidate have 24-hour disappearing message on your phone? Somebody send you a message now, giving you some critical information. By tomorrow it disappear.
Anyway,
and you don't look at it yet.
Anyway, I am wrapping up the show, ending that part of the discussion.
Yeah, but my final word.
Hold on, excellent. Hold on. If you want to weigh in on the issue with Dr. Tuftton, that is what we were on this evening, and I would love a final word on where Dr. Tuftton is. Are you comfortable with Dr. Tuftton accepting the IC report but still being Minister of Health? Excellent.
Well, I'm going to say this to you, Shaka. You see, if you look at Dr. Tuftton's track record as a minister and this report, they both just point to a similar place, a colossal failure and mismanagement of the public health system. And therefore, it is just one more nail in the furniture for Dr. Tuftton for him to take his bag and go. You can't, there's no doubt about the situation, because it's not like a far-fetched person. This is a close person to Dr. Tuftton. Right? There are clear breaches would have been shown, and therefore he should take his bag and go. He has cost us too much thus far, and is continuing to cost us. When will Cornwall Regional be finished, so that people of the western end of the country can enjoy the services of a type A hospital? When will it be finished? He cannot answer that question. Dr. Tuftton, it's time for you to go.
Thank you, Excellence. Blessings, my brother. Obi, your final words.
I will take about a tenth of excellent type for that. Because my point is very, very simple, Colin. It is quite glaring, and it is indeed an embarrassment when Dr. Tuftton look at us and say, based on the report, he has been exonerated. The truth is that Dr. Tuftton should tender his resignation. Failing to do so, his boss, Andrew Holness, should fire him. But does he have the ball and the temerity to do so? Finally, Tuftton should be gone. He should be gone. This is the final meal in his coffee, I think. That's my view, Colin.
Thank you very much, Obi. We'll talk.
All the best, my brother.
Blessings. Want to thank Dr. Deborah Icklin for joining us this evening, talking about the green paper on the culture and the creative industries. I want to thank Conrad O'Brien for spending some time with us, looking at the whole situation with Tuftton, Christopher Tuftton, hard man for dead. Lick him down, beat him up, him bounce right back. He has accepted the Integrity Commission report. And it is my humble view that if you accept a report that points to breaches, then your resignation should be next in line. This has been the Colin Bell Show for yet another Wednesday evening. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, like and share the channel. Only subscribers can comment in the chat room. I want to big up all the people in the chat room who have been sharing their comments. Yes, we have been seeing some of them. We read some of them. But please keep your comments coming. Keep your comments coming. Thank you for being a Portland Spice ambassador. Share up the channel. We want to take our subscription to 10,000. So we're on a subscription drive right now. So Nardi, how much people you can get for me before the week done? Saturday morning, we want to see the change. President Fitzroy, Star Girl. Yeah, man. We want to push it. Make we get some more subscribers. Ian Vassell, Shanna Smith, Petra, Danette from the Ariad clan. Thanks, everybody. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace. Until we meet again, scheduled meeting is Saturday morning. But the fact that you have the notification bell on, if something come up, we are going to be on. That's why it is important for you to subscribe, click the notification bell. It doesn't cost you to like the video, to touch the thumbs up. Yeah, man, and give the video a like. You know? Thanks, everybody. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you. Make his light shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace. As I said, the scheduled time is Saturday morning for us to meet again. One love, my people. Thanks, everybody.